Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports and Songs Podcast. This is season 7, episode number 2. Andy, tonight's the sports edition. How are you?
I am good, and yourself?
Good. Today is November 17th, 2025. It's a sports edition. We've got lots to cover in the area of sports tonight. It's that time of year. Lots of things happening. High school sports, prep bowl coming up, your favorite. But we'll start off with a trivia question, Andy. Trivia question tonight, or actually it was yesterday. In Canada, they have the CFL, and instead of the Super Bowl, it's the Grey Cup. Who won this year's Grey Cup? That was yesterday. Who won the Grey Cup? We'll get the answer at the end of the episode, Andy.
All right. Here we go. First of all, breaking news. Those of you who don't like to look at this nice sinus congested face every week and our pretty faces, you can catch some of our episodes audio only on Beer Belly Sports Radio Network. We have our lawyers and their lawyers have talked, and we have signed agreements. So you can catch us on the Beer Belly Sports Radio Network, along with some other fine shows and programming. Give them a check. So there you go. Information on our social media pages with links for all that stuff.
Excellent.
Okay. All right. Big Sky, college football, FCS. Here's our official statement there today. In conjunction with the coordination of football officials, the Big Sky Conference has reviewed the play with 12 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter of a football game Saturday between Sacramento State and Idaho. The officials in the field called a pass by Sacramento State successful, and replay did not overturn the call. They complained. It was evident that incorrect judgment was applied to this play.
Okay.
The Big Sky acknowledges and regrets the error the area of officiating, and as a result, has suspended multiple officials who worked at the contest. The conference office will have no further public comment of this matter. Now, I don't have the play, but I'm just going to go through some stuff here now. And this, it's FCS, so that's like where the Bison play and stuff. So kind of following a little bit here on the show. And I'm not saying get over it, but let's just get over it. Here we go. Here's the score of the game, 23-20. Sacramento State improves to 7-4. Idaho the Vandals go to 4-7. Ta-da. If you look at the rankings, here and the also receiving votes at the bottom is Sacramento State at 7-4. So they're not even in the top 25. They're on the also receiving votes pretty far down there.
Okay.
If the playoffs were today, they don't make the top cut for the playoffs. So what does this have to do with the price of tea in China? I get it. You're upset with the officials. You want to send a letter off. I get it. But it could have waited till the offseason to send the letter off. Send it off. They could have reviewed this in the offseason. Why is it a deal now? Neither one of these teams are making the playoffs. It has no effect on anything whatsoever, except some officials got reprimanded and be suspended for the last game of the year. Whoopity-doo! You know, they can start setting up the Christmas tree early. So many, like we said before, with instant replay, athletes are bigger, faster, stronger now than they were 10 years ago, than 30 years ago, than 40 years ago. I would look to this play because I bet you it was by the 1/100th of a second, by the millimeter of a hair on a at's ass was the difference. That no one with a naked eye could catch, but you're going to blame the refs for missing this. I'm so sick and tired of that. People go, I obviously saw it from my couch. The hell you did. Okay. They missed it. They missed on instant replay. Life goes on. Life goes on. Something else that's got me scratching my head this weekend. Just head explosion. I don't get it. Normally, the bride wasn't here, so it was just myself and my 30-pack of hams to enjoy a Sunday afternoon.
Solid.
And I wanted to watch the Tampa Bay Buffalo football game instead. I thought, I don't watch many NFL games, but this will be a good one. So I watched that instead of the Vikings-Bears game. Now, of course, I was peeking at it every now and then on my phone, checking my fantasy football scores. And I saw the Vikes were getting crushed. Whoopity-doo. And then I get a text from a buddy like, hey, how's the game going? And I said, I guess it's getting pretty close. I thought, okay, I'll watch the last of the game. Bears kick a field goal to win it, final seconds. Here's where my head starts to hurt. It was at the Greenhouse in Minneapolis, US Bank Stadium. You just lost the game on a last-second field goal, and you hear him playing the Skull Viking song in the background afterwards. You just lost the game on a last-second field goal. You want to play the fight song? I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah,
I don't understand that.
The Cubs, fly the W. The Red Sox, after a win, play that song. And the Vikings, different teams do different things when they win, but you can't have it both ways. You can't
play a
play
fight song after you just lost the last second field goal.
So very strange, odd once again.
If you only wait a few minutes and play it to get everybody out the door on a happy note, fine. The field goal goes up, the refs put their arms up, field goal, and you start playing the fight song. No, you lost the game. That's not how this works. Like I said, if you had to wait like 5 minutes and everybody out the door and go, all right, hey, we still got it, I get it.
Now, Andy, I do have a question for you on this Vikings game. I didn't watch most of it myself. I did watch that final minute with the comeback, with McCarthy going down the field, touchdown to Addison, great play, and now they've got the lead. And that was awesome. Right. And then Chicago comes down and gets a big return and kicks a field goal that really was only good by 2 or 3 yards.
It was close, yeah.
It was less than 10, maybe 5 feet the other way. Kicked it a little bit the other direction, he would have missed it.
If you played outside, he would have missed it.
All we would have heard is how great the Vikings are on a great win.
Oh, yep.
And he makes it, and all we hear about is how bad they are, and the team sucks, and McCarthy's washed up, and we can't stand the Vikings. I mean, that's the fans by 3 feet different. Whatever it was.
If
they could have won if he missed it.
If you played outside, he misses that.
Yeah, and now they happened to make it. It wasn't that close, but they lost. But it's once again it was a 4th down. There's no time left on the clock. He makes it, they win. He misses that kick, they lose. Now, the other thing to remember is Chicago Bears this year are that team. They're winning these last second 1-point game, 2-point games, 1-possession games, come from behind. This year, 5 of their wins are come from behind wins in the 4th quarter with less than 2 minutes left. So to me, they happen to be on that ride.
Well, that's the Vikings' last 2 years. So, I mean,
and so now the Vikings, and you've mentioned it, Andy, in the past, that we've gotten lucky the last couple of years, and we strung off a bunch of those wins that are typically, most of those are heads or tails. You win one a good way like that, you lose a close one. But the Bears are on a roll, winning all these close games this year, and hand it to them. They got in a position to win. They outplayed the Vikings, but boy, they almost lost the game. But you're right, 3-4 feet away, that field goal, Vikings would be champions, and all we'd hear about how good they are, but they're not. And now you read the social media today of how bad everyone, all in one kick.
Well, the guy missed
There's no middle ground.
He missed one earlier in the game.
So it was close, but yeah, they lost. But what's the big meaning and the big purpose of life on that game? It impacts nothing.
More of my anti-Viking media stuff continues.
Oh my God.
Bring me the sports. Excuse me. Sam Darnold had a bad game against the Raiders. Reminds the Vikings why they made the right call by getting rid of him. Before that game, he was up in talks for MVP. He's leading the first place team. He has one bad game, and Viking fans are like, yeah, we knew he sucked.
No, but okay, here's the difference. Before this, during the Vikings game, when McCarthy was sucking it up, there was posts and tweets saying, Why the heck did we let Darnold walk? We could have had a franchise quarterback sitting right on him. He's so good. 14-3 last year. Why did we decide to let him go? Well,
And
number
here's all the
one,
Viking press guys
we
afterwards.
we
Yep, knew it.
we never let him go.
Yep,
Darnold was here on a 1-year deal. That's it.
yep.
If
We
they
didn't
would have
trade him.
pursued to keep him, yes, as a what some fans called a franchise quarterback, it would have been very expensive. The
Right.
rate he was asking for, $30 million, I don't think the Vikings would have pulled the trigger anyway. So he was gone. There is no Sam Darnold in the talks for 2025.
But
We have McCarthy, a franchise guy that everyone wanted and was basically on draft day a wet dream for every Vikings fan. Now you have him. But now the complaints come in. Darnold blows the game. Oh, he's an idiot. And so was McCarthy. Okay.
Yeah.
The boos, Andy, were raining down from US Bank on McCarthy. He's 22 years old.
yeah, injured.
Yes,
spring
he'll be
training
good.
Injured
He'll
this
be
year.
good someday. But oh my God, you're not going to get an overnight sensation like the
Oh,
Twins, the
nope.
Vikings fans want. They want him to go to the Super Bowl his first year so bad.
To say, see, we told you.
Some things aren't in the cards.
All right. Jamar Chase is suspended for spitting on another person. In the Bengals Steelers game. I saw it. He was jaw jack with a guy. I couldn't tell if did he just say his P's with a lot of emphasis and a spit came out. Did he go, you suck, huck to it? I don't know.
No.
But with the suspension, it's going to be about just over $500,000 for his one-game paycheck with bonuses. Here's my thing on this. Not quite a soapbox. We had a meeting. This was almost soapbox eligible.
Okay.
But I would have had to do more research, and I just wasn't in the mood for it. All right. You spit on somebody, you're suspended, boom. No doubt about it. He gets pulled over for speeding, suspended. Oh, wait, I want to appeal that. Oh, okay, that's fine. No. Suspend, period. He can't appeal this one. Here's the video proof. You spit on a man. Now, I think the nature of the beast, you want to let these football men, quote unquote, handle it. Let's go old school. You can either be suspended for one game, or the guy you spit on gets, 5 minutes with you in the back alley. And we man up and, settle it. And then put that on pay-per-view, money goes to charity. There. You'd raise a lot more than $500,000, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yes.
I tell you, and mention that here, though. That's the thing. He's suspended. And it's got to go to that guy you spit on. It goes to his charity or a charity of his choice. Not the NFL fund, not the NFL Charity Association. The guy you humiliated by spitting on him, it goes to his fund, and his charity or his association or his kid's college fund, whatever. And not only does it go to that other guy, he's the one who gets the tax write-off for it, not you, punk.
Interesting.
Hall of Fame list came out today for Major League Baseball. 27 names on it. Voters get, or writers, or the writers, the people, you get to vote for 10. I'm not going to break this down now. I might later in the week or early next. We might both do it. I looked at this. I could think of 10 people I'd want to vote for to start with, let alone who the top 10 would be. That's just my opinion. I'd have a tough time finding 10 guys to vote for.
And I think most of the writers
are qualified,
will. So that's why the percentages are going to be very diluted, and maybe no one will come out on top of this crop of this class.
Yep. And there's just some it's like, wait, what? And then you see the names on the veterans list or whatever. It's like, how did this guy not get a vote out of the 10 people every year and get missed? How is Dale Murphy not in the Hall of Fame yet?
Yeah.
How is Mattingly not in the Hall of Fame yet? Gary Sheffield not in the Hall of Fame. Some of these names, he couldn't get a 10th place vote and get enough percentage votes to be up there. I don't know. But some of these names on here, I looked, the new 8 names on there. Because before I get into it, I want to really look up what are the qualifications to be on the ballot. Because it was just been out of the league for 10 years and you had to play for how long? Did you have to hit certain criterias? Like when you were retired, you were in the top 50 in this cat. I don't know what the criteria is to be on the ballot.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Before I start criticizing who the hell I'd vote for on this ballot, so that's the thing we're working on. If not this week, next coming up, we will kind of dig deep on that. How do you qualify for the Hall of Fame ballot? And then when you're on there, now what? So that's that part. And one more thing, today marks the anniversary of what we call the Heidi game.
Oh, yes.
Today is the anniversary of the Heidi game. We bring it up every year about this time, and since it actually fell on today, the Heidi game. How many times have you watched a football game, 42-10, and you're stuck watching the rest of it? It's like, hurry up. I want to get to the next program. I want to get to watch whatever show on whatever network you're watching. Nope. You have to watch all because this game was going on November 17th, 1968, infamous Heidi game. Occurred a matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Jets in front of 53,000 plus in Oakland, Alameda County Stadium. Game was airing live on NBC, which is notable for its exciting finishes, to which the Raiders scored 2 touchdowns in the final minute to win the game 43-32. Charlie Smith scored a 43-yard pass. There was a 2-yard special teams fumble return. However, the decision by the game's television broadcaster NBC to break away from its coverage on the East Coast to broadcast the television film Heidi. So that's why we are stuck watching these games to the bitter end. And if they're killing time, you get to go watch the last 15 seconds of another game.
Yeah, and so that was the precedent because there hadn't been anything. So now any game that runs over, the programming is going to push out to make you watch the end of the game.
And it doesn't matter if it's 40,
early.
If it's 42-0, you're watching it.
Other games to watch. They will stick you there. So yeah, every Sunday that gets to be interesting.
It's the Heidi game, the Heidi rule. And like I said, if it's 42-0, you're stuck watching it. I because of all the money in advertising now, they'll never change that back. Never.
Yeah.
I could see I'd be okay if they went to a split screen where, okay, here's the last 30 seconds. Let's go to the highlight show on the other half of the screen. I'd be okay with that. But
that is
money is what it is, and you won't ever see that change.
Well, Andy, the Arizona Fall League wrapped up this year. So those futures is all these future studs, these future prospects play in that league down in Arizona. That wrapped up. The trivia question. Oh, let's get to the trivia question in a second. But I did want to make sure that the D2 and D3 college NCAA brackets have been announced for football.
No, there's still one more week for D2 and 3. Yes.
Yeah, so D2 and D3, they announced Selection Sunday. So those brackets are done. And we push a lot here on the show of D2, D3, also FCS and D1. But for D1, there's still one more week of regular season. D3 and D2, regular season ended. You're either in the postseason or you're not. You're packing your bags. Your season's over. So the brackets are announced. Those games will be single elimination. We'll follow those as well. Local Minnesota schools. So you got Bethel ranked in the top 10 in the nation. You have St. John's and Collegeville, top 16 in the nation. And then a bunch of Wisconsin schools. But some Midwest schools are represented there in the D3. D2, much of the same. UMD Bulldogs are a team to watch there as well. Bemidji is out this year.
Yes. This is not
we'll be covering some of those games as well because this is it's a 4-5 week affair before the championships are crowned, right?
Yeah. So we'll show more than just the local. We'll keep the brackets updated by focusing on the locals. But it is fun. The D3 one, you look at the D3 bracket, it almost looks like a basketball bracket, like where everybody made it. It feels like it.
It is
but there
lot.
is so many D3 teams too. So, that being said.
Very good to make it, but boy, once you get into that, it's a meat grinder because it really separates the men from the boys. Those top teams there, it really separates the men from the boys. The teams that make it, yes, they have a shot. Yes, they have a chance. It's fun that they're in it, that it's exciting. But if you're going to run up against some of those big boys in that tournament, it's going to be a slaughter because these guys are unbelievably coached and whatnot at that level. Some of these teams, different parts of the country, are unreal. The Prep Bowl, Andy, is coming up this weekend. We'll cover that. U.S. Bank Stadium, 6 classes, 2 teams left. There's 12 teams left in the state of Minnesota.
7 with 9, man.
7 with 9 men. So we're down to the final games of 349 teams that begin the season in varsity level football in the state of Minnesota. There's going to be one champion crowned at each class over the weekend, and that is always fun. The trivia question, Andy, who won the Grey Cup?
It wasn't Winnipeg, so I was sad.
It was the Rough Riders.
Now, I have a amendment to the answer there.
Okay.
I forgot the player's name. I saw it like literally seconds before we came on, and then we've posted to our social medias. The Rough Riders actually had a member of the Bemidji State University Beavs on it, so go Beavs.
Okay, nice. The other thing, Andy,
first Beaver ever to get a Grey Cup.
First one, okay. And once again, you may not go to NFL pro football, but there's levels of football that you can play after that. Arena, XFL, Canadian Football League. There's different leagues that are still pro
and the Canadian's
leagues.
Fun to watch. I like watching that.
Very good. It's good stuff. Good stuff. So what I was going to mention here for next week and for the upcoming weeks is that because the winter sports have started for college, we like to follow some of these collegiate wrestlers, Andy.
Yes.
Wrestlers that we followed in high school that have gone on and won state titles and things like that and have pursued their careers at various D1 colleges. I think there's 6 or 7 we're going to be following this year at the freshman, sophomore, and the junior level that were around surrounding schools here, local kids that are at the top level. I went through and did a search. A bunch of those guys are ranked, several in the top 5 in the nation at their weight are from local here. So,
and we had earlier this week, it's on our socials also, National Signing Day. A lot of high school kids did sign for the schools.
Okay.
The twins here in Watertown both signed with the Gophers officially.
Yep.
A lot of the guys signed with Gophers or with the Bison or South Dakota State or Oklahoma, wherever they went. We might have missed a few. If we missed you, drop us a line. We got no problem having you on and showing it, Trying to catch as many as we could coming up. But yeah, high school and college wrestling is really becoming a big thing on this show, let alone it's grown more popularity in the area because of this show. So
exactly.
We'll just say it. We'll take the credit. So don't be surprised you see a couple wrestling, collegiate high school wrestling bonus episodes this fall and winter. Guests on and everything else for that too. So
yeah, fun time of the year. It's going to be good stuff here coming up. It's going to be Thanksgiving week here next week.
Next week,
Andy. Next week. So we got the Prep Bowl. It's going to be Thanksgiving. Before we know it's going to be December. Major League Baseball has the Rule 5 draft. We'll cover that again like last year. To get ready for the Rule 5 draft, the players that have to be protected, or in other words, placed on that 40-man roster, the deadline is tomorrow. Watch our social media accounts for those. We'll be updating some things. The teams have got to place their members, whatever room they have left on the 40-man roster, bring the guys up on the 40-man, the young prospect, the hot stud guys.
Yeah, you may see a double-A player, triple-A player put on that 40-man roster. That's basically just kind of guaranteeing them an invite to spring training.
Yes. So look for those moves.
You're not saying he's going to be on your opening day 40-man roster.
Correct.
He's on your 40-man roster now. These are at least 40 guys we're taking to spring training.
And so, yeah, these players that'll be not called up, or I would say promoted to the 40-man roster, does not mean, no, they're going to be on the 26-man active roster for the Major League Baseball, but they're held in such high regard that they want to be them protected. So in a couple of years when they come up, that no other teams can grab them. So tomorrow's going to be a big day in Major League Baseball for that. A lot of movement there. And then in 3 weeks is that draft. But we'll keep you all apprised on all the things going on in sports world.
That's what we do here.
We're like to educate, Andy, right?
Yeah.
We're here to educate.
That's what we do.
Sounds good. We'll see you next Monday. Have a good one.